still speak. Maybe so that one day someone will listen. I buried the last people I knew. The past is made of scars. But this is a story of what comes next. I don't know what I will find. I only know the wind still pushes me forward. And so I walk. "1,200 days, not a single human face, no voice but my own, and the endless whistle of the wind. I don't know why I keep speaking. Maybe so I don't forget who I am. Maybe so that one day, if someone finds this record, they'll know I existed. Or maybe just because silence has already killed too many." The heat climbed, the sky burned with storms. Rain stopped, and then came the sand, unstoppable, devouring everything. The cities were the first to die. Towers that once touched the sky, swallowed as if they never existed. One after another, drowned beneath the tides of sand. It wasn't war, not one single plague. It was the entire world giving up on us. 90% gone in the first year. The rest fell slowly. Hunger, disease, lungs filling with dust, bodies giving up. I survived, not by strength. Survival isn't strength, it's stubbornness. I learned to improvise filters out of broken machines, to steal water from the air, drop by drop, like robbing life from death. To hunt the small creatures that still hide beneath the dunes. I spent more time fixing than dreaming. Maybe it was luck, or maybe punishment. The desert does not forget. Steps repeat day after day until I no longer know if I'm walking or if I'm standing still while the world moves beneath me. 1,200 days. That's what my mind repeats, like a broken prayer. The cities are no longer cities. They are skeletons of stone and steel, buried up to their necks. Sometimes, when the wind blows just right, you can still hear the cracking of structures giving way. Towers that once stood proud, now bent. Broken bones the desert swallows piece by piece. There was no single enemy, no single plague to name. It all came at once, the heat rising, the rains failing, the sky burning with storms of dust, sand flowing like rivers, covering everything. The beasts were born. They are not legends, they are bodies twisted by the sun, creatures that should have died but grew into something nature never imagined. I saw one yesterday, far away crossing the plain. A shadow with weight, sand bending beneath its body. I didn't wait to see more. Those who stare too long never see again. And so I moved on. I always move on. The wind doesn't let me stop. The wind pushes, hurts, but it also keeps me alive. On top of a high dune, I fell to my knees. The sun burned my back. Sand slipped through my fingers as if laughing at me. I thought, if no one else remains, then let the desert take me too. I closed my eyes, waited for silence, but death did not come, and I rose again. That was the moment the world decided to intervene. The wind shifted, the crest of the dune trembled. The ground gave way. There was no time to think. The sand opened and swallowed me. I fell. My body dragged, breath stolen by the dust. Everything was noise and weight. The impact at the bottom was dry, cruel. I lay there, not knowing if I was still breathing or already memory. My lungs burned. My heart hammered weakly. But I was alive. Still alive. When I opened my eyes, I saw where I had fallen. Beneath the desert, bones of a dead city, corridors of broken concrete, rusting beams, stairways leading nowhere. Through cracks above, rays of light pierced the suspended dust. The world had pushed me into its past. I rose slowly, joints creaking like the beams around me, sand pouring from my hair, my hood, filling pockets, wrists, tongue. I drew my knife and struck the exposed iron. The sound spread along the corridor and died instantly. Nothing answered. I stepped 3 paces and waited. 3 more. The silence tested me, patient. The slanted light through the cracks made dust dance slowly. A whole world moving without moving. I touched the wall. The concrete was warm, as if it breathed heat from above. Then I saw the first sign beside a fallen door. A wire. Toucans! An improvised structure leaned against the corner. Sheets of aluminum. Torn filters. A thin tube bending into a cup. Unexpectedly clean. The dripping was almost invisible, but it was there. Drop. Pause. Drop. I approached like one approaches a frightened animal, touched the liquid with my finger, tasted it. Water. Tasteless. Empty. But water. I looked around with new eyes, like entering a house and trying to read the owner through its order. On the wall, a beam of light touched something round. A small solar lamp. Plastic scratched, surface warm. Warm not from the day, but from recent hands. I stepped further and found the rest of the story. In the dust, 2 lines of footprints, one going in, deeper, sand high on the heel, the other coming out, lighter as if the body already knew the way. I knelt. The outline was clear. Not days, hours. Then I saw the marks in the corners where the corridor turned. Chalk scratches, 3 lines like short branches, a trunk imagined between them, repeated at every bend, discreet, at shoulder height. Not accident, not art, code. I followed the marks to where the gallery collapsed in sand. The symbol reappeared on a beam, tilted, pointing to a broken stair rising toward the light. I sat there, letting my heart learn the cadence of the place. Drank a short sip from my bottle, teeth aching with the cold of warm water. I smiled alone. The body deceives itself too. I climbed back to the surface as the sun sank, the wind calmer now. The desert seemed tired of being desert. I built a shelter a few meters from the opening, a tarp against the dune slope, blanket pinned by 2 rods and a hook that saved my life more times than I'll admit. I ate little, closed my eyes without closing them. The night pushes everything into the chest. Sounds grow sharper and less trustworthy. The brain repeats steps I never took, voices I never heard. It was between 2 of those repetitions that I heard it. Clink, long pause, clink, another pause, clink. 3 metallic strikes, measured, far enough not to scare, close enough to be real. I sat slowly. My hand reached for the knife handle without asking permission. The wind doesn't do this. The beasts don't do this. Someone was saying, "I'm here," without saying anything. I stayed awake until the cold reminded me the body is small. I thought of the footprints, in and out, the warm lamp, the patient condenser, the chalk marks guiding me like a hand on my shoulder. I thought of the people I buried, the names left coiled on my tongue, as if I could keep them forever if I never spoke them aloud. And I thought maybe I wouldn't have to speak alone again. The sky dark blue, almost black, with a pale band promising another day. I packed everything, tightened straps, checked weight. Every gram counts when the sand charges interest. I returned to where the stair reached light, waited long enough not to be caught by the wind's whim. When the brightness grew gentle, I advanced. On the surface, I searched for chalk. And it was there, on a piece of concrete standing like a rotten tooth. 3 lines, always 3. By noon, the light split me in 2, and I resumed. The marks led me to hard ground. The dunes sank into a fossilized roadbed, cracked like a dry river. Between 2 slabs, someone had rigged a row of dark cloths, stretched like sails, tied with simple knots. Drops slid timidly into a gutter of mismatched pipes forced together. I reached out, touched beneath the gutter. My fingertip shone. I licked it, water with dust and stubbornness. I went on. At dusk, I found new iron among the old, 2 posts, a wire stretched low across the ground, and hanging from it, a small shop bell. The kind once fixed to old doors. I didn't see it in time. My foot touched the wire. The sound spread through still air, a metallic strike, endless. The silence that followed weighed more than everything else. Then I saw her, a silhouette against the setting sun, dark cloak, half her face covered, an improvised weapon steady in her hands, her eyes locked on me. No fear, only decision.
Who are you? You shouldn't be here.
Her voice cut through me like a blade. Real. Human. After 1,200 days, it wasn't my voice I heard. It was hers.